Okay. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay. I've just been having too many problems with different things. And so that's why I haven't been doing lives or anything. But anyway, so I wanted to ask you, I wanted to start off by asking you this. Well, first, what do you think is the most interesting thing that you read, like in the documents or whatever so far?
Uh, what did I think? It's like what's her name? Santa was on her back. Like I found out, like, cause I mean, if she was laying on her back, you could say she was stabbed 50 times. Like, yeah, like they had to see something. You know what I mean? It's like, and Bethany
Yeah.
and Dylan were acting like, oh, she's passed out, like drunk. Like, I just find that's a little weird.
It is strange because and when I read it, I think I read that it was in her room, right? That she was in her room, not in the
Yep. Yeah.
hallway.
Yeah. And the way they wording it, it's like she went up to to Kaylee's Maddie's room,
Mhm.
and then he like I guess maybe he started fighting with her, and like then he chased her down.
Mhm.
And also, what Steve said, like Kaylee was like, it's not like he kind of straddled her and was like stabbing her in the head.
It's crazy. How did they gag and bound how do you gag and bind people if it's just you alone and
Yeah,
there's two women or there's I mean, how do you do that? I mean, is it possible?
I know. I don't think it is. And the way Steve was saying it, like I don't know, like he was usually like he punched her in the face to shut her up or something. Like
Oh, sorry. Hey, sipping on.
hello.
Doing. Yeah, I mean, it was just like I feel so bad for them, honestly, because like I said, we said before, with all the questions we have, and they aren't our kids, these are their kids. And although he did say, I do have to say, he said that he had a lot of his questions answered. Remember? Like right
Yeah,
after the plea deal, or somebody called him. It was after Trump. He said it was because Trump tweeted something, remember?
yeah. He said he's got a little. He got a couple questions answered, but like I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, like I don't know. Like I mean, I got big questions too. Like how did they like like those cops, they all had that press conference and they're like, we got no ties to the house and no motive, and there's clearly a tie to the house and there's clearly a motive.
Oh my God. I just tell you that when Payne was like, it's just how we roll. I wanted to just punch them in their face. I know that's not nice. And I would never do that in reality. I'm not a violent person at all. But just the way they were acting like, we don't know, bro. Like,
Yep.
that's what we know, bro. Like, we're the cool bros. Like, no, no, this isn't cool, guys. This sucks.
I
You know, it
mean,
sucks. That's how
nobody
you
wants to.
roll, you suck. Like, that's what I wanted to say. Like,
I'm saying like nobody wants to say it like that. Santa's mom and Maddie's dad were like informants, and that's the whole tie.
yeah, nobody wants to say it. Nobody
Yeah,
wants to say it. I mean, it's like it's crazy because, once they start talking about it, then, the university has a certain stigma attached. Then, the town has a certain stigma attached. I mean, these things go on anyway, but like WSU a couple years before, right? There was Neeks Peaks did a whole thing on that. She was
yeah,
great exposing, the how they use the college kids to move
yep.
products and stuff like that.
And
Um,
it puts blood on the cops' hands. Like, and that's
that's
what
it.
I think. That's why they're covering it up.
Bingo. That's exactly right. Because the cops know, like, if they're letting this stuff slide just for their town to get a little whatever extra, or they get a little extra every month, then it's like probably what happens in every small drug corridor town in America. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like
Yeah, yeah.
anything different. It's just now, unfortunately, they got fucked because they had a four person murder, on their
If I
campus.
was a Ann Taylor, like the attorney, that would have
Hmm.
been my defense.
What's
Like,
that?
like using that the reasonable doubt of the parents being in performance. That I mean,
Oh, absolutely. No, I
like,
agree. I mean, there was a lot of reasonable doubt, I feel like, and that's why the plea is so mind-boggling. I guess it depends on your perspective, right? For some people, it makes sense because if you think he's part of some sort of brotherhood or whatever, he has to keep a code of silence. He'll never rat. Back in the day, the mob used to be like that. The mob's not like it. I don't even know if the mob's around anymore.
Yeah.
But back in the day, the mob was like, you
Yeah.
don't snitch, right?
Yeah.
And everybody snitches nowadays. But if these guys have this omerta or whatever it is, and I don't know if that's what it is, but that would make sense for him to just be quiet.
Yeah. And like I don't know why she didn't like start with that as her defense, but I mean I guess maybe because she's legal aid, and you know what I mean. It's
Well, I mean, the other
she's
thing
part of the
is,
state.
well, I think, everybody has their different, ideas or whatever, but I think that something came up, and I think you said the same thing, and I agreed with you. And even Peter Tragus said it. That we like, and I think Andrew Burkhart might have even said it, that something came up that was like unexpected on their end that showed like, yeah, this isn't going to look good or whatever for you, Brian.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing that in the documents. Are you?
Yeah. No, not yet. Yeah. No. I mean, I don't. I didn't see what. I mean, there's more coming out, right? I mean, it's like these are
Yeah,
just.
yeah. This is just like the beginning. This will be like JFK. Like in 60 years, we'll be like, did they release the documents yet?
So my understanding, this is just everybody, every person they interviewed is what we're seeing, like around the house, people.
Which they have some interesting interviews in there. I've read some. I listened to a lot of, Lana Truth and Transparency is just reading them, which is awesome. And she was reading a really interesting one earlier about a guy who said he was in their house and they didn't know it and he could have killed them and nobody would have even known. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear that. No, I didn't hear
It
that.
was a crazy story. It's a crazy story. It was at the end of her live, one of her lives in the past day or two, but it was towards the end. And she's like, before I go, I'm just going to give you some like, something, some humor or whatever. And she, well, first she tells the story of one of the stories is, did you know that a person got into a car accident and lost control of their car and it ran into the crime scene at 1122 King Road?
When reason like,
Like back in the day, like what
oh,
after like a couple weeks, like there's an incident report in there that you can read where this person like lost control of their car somehow, and it drove through the crime scene tape.
oh, oh no,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm like fuck, that's not good.
no, not good at all.
Like that's not a good start to the day.
No,
She
that
read
isn't.
that for some like humor, whatever.
Yeah,
But then the other one was it wasn't really for humor. It was more like, what the heck's going on over here? Um, yeah, it was interesting. You have to hear it. It's really, and the guy implies that, uh, he says the two girls, and she thinks it's Maddie and Kaylee he's referring to, like, are lesbians or something.
oh yeah,
Yeah. And like that's been one of those things that's been out there like in the ether. And like whether it is or isn't, clearly it would have to be bisexual because they both have boyfriends and they like men too. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it'd be bisexual, right? Which whatever. But the reason why I found that interesting is because I don't know if you saw the episode I did. This was, I don't know when it was, like a year ago. I found this weird document and I did a whole episode on it because it was all about how someone in the house had reported something to the Office of Civil Rights, OCR, at the university. And typically when that happens, it's for discrimination on the basis of, skin color, religion, race,
Okay, well, sexual
or
orientation.
sexual orientation, right? Right. Or, something like that. And so, I read that and it was referring to one of the kids that passed away. They had some open thing there and they asked for it to be sealed because the university said, I don't know I did a video on it, but the point I'm trying to make is I keep trying to find that thread to like
Yeah.
tie it. Like what was going on? Who complained in the house? Was it sexual harassment because of a professor or who knows? You know what I
You
mean?
remember like when they were saying Dylan was trans way back in the beginning?
That really pissed me off. That pissed me off. You know why? Because Well, first of all, I think that started a lot on 4chan because 4chan really just like I wonder how much Brian was on 4chan in the beginning because he's definitely a 4chan kind of person. I feel like I feel like Brian has been on 4chan, you know? And so I just feel like wait, what did you just say? I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
Dylan trans.
Yeah, that's where they talked about that though. That's I'm sorry, that's what I meant. Is
Right.
unfortunate. It was constantly on there in the roast beef. It was so disgusting. It's so gross. I was like, these people are 12. And so, and then that other guy came out. What was his name, Eric?
Justin.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
he made this big thing about how, and he was the first trans to
yeah,
get,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
he really was. He's like, I think he's an operative, like sort of, you know, for Democrats. But anyway, he made a big deal. And all of that just irritated me more and more because she's not trans. Like some people are trans, like, you know, Emmanuel Macron's wife.
Yeah.
Macron. Now she's a man, you know,
Yep,
that's a
yeah,
man, right?
that's a
And
man.
I
Yep.
can tell you why I believe that before I listen to Candace Owens go on about it. But it has to do but Dylan was never a man. And I guess what I'm trying to say is as a female, it's probably and at that age, right? At my age, like whatever, say whatever you want. I know I'm a full-blooded woman, like whatever, right? But at 20, in your 20s, for a whole contingency of the culture to be calling you trans, like that's soul crushing to some a young woman in their 20s. Like, do you know they so that really bothered me that people were saying that shit about her. In
Dylan
fact,
was. She
oh
was
sorry.
good in that. Her speech was good. I mean, I was happy to see her out there, and I think she proved to a lot of people like that she came out there to make her victims.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she
No,
did good.
absolutely. I was like, you know, I've never like trashed her. I've definitely like had questions and been skeptical and stuff like that. And I'm not going to apologize for that because I think
Yeah,
that's fair. But like after I saw her speech, you know, it was really genuine. She's
yeah.
not acting at all. Like she's fucking traumatized, you know? And I just decided like I don't understand what happened, but clearly, like, she had nothing to do with like causing her friends harm. You
Yeah,
know,
no, I know. That's another reason I was wondering. Like, if it was a few people, I think they would have took those two out. Like, that's another reason. Like, I'm thinking maybe it was just two people because,
that
like,
was a good point, right? You made
yeah,
that. You're right. Like, because I keep thinking it's got to be like at least two, but then you're right. If it was two, but then you know what though? Here's the thing: if it was a hit by like some
yeah,
organization, um, I don't think that they like to target well, I don't know what they like to do. I'm not an expert on this shit, right? But I would assume like they don't want to kill people that don't need to be killed, right? Or no? They just flat
yeah, I guess so. But I don't think Kaylee and Ethan needed to be killed on my theory.
right.
But I mean, if they attacked, like, sounds like Kaylee might have attacked, like, caught him in like hurting Maddie, and then she attacked. So then it's like that.
It
But
just
Ethan was supposedly passed out.
this is why like I feel like, you know, the whole Linda Lane thing, which by the way, I'm so curious. I wish I could ask questions at the press conference like can you tell us about the Linda Lane footage now? Was that like a leak? What is that? Is that garbage? Like just something, you know, give us a bone. You know, what about the footprint found it inside the house? Like whose footprint is that? Like what do you think? Like give us something here. You know, like we have all these
Yeah.
unanswered questions that will never, you know,
I, I
um
seen a good Banfield tape last night that was totally clear. I mean, and I seen other ones where people like see them, they're down behind the car, they're in the tree. I seen one that was totally clear, and there's nothing around, nobody in the car. It was like totally clear. Like it was
what are you talking about? What do you mean?
like when they were giving the tickets at the Banfield,
Oh, I don't think there's
and
anybody.
then it was like there's a stingray in the back, and there's a person in the back of this car, and
I don't think it was that elaborate. I know some people spend a lot of time with that. I don't see that. But I hear stuff at Linda Lane and people might think I'm weird for that. Although I'm not the only
no,
one.
no, I hear that too.
You do,
There's definitely
right.
something going on over it.
That's what I'm saying. There's something not right with the Linda Lane and the timeline. And I really think that the Linda Lane stuff can't be ignored. Um, I just mean from a standpoint of formulating a theory, because I'm not saying about court and what's proven, but just when I think about formulating a theory, I have to take that into account, what I heard there. And some of the, and when I say like, and other people have heard it too, like I can hear what sounds to me like, Kaylee's voice and Madison's voice. It's really weird. I don't, it's weird. And I refuse to believe that means nothing.
I heard it too. I heard a lot of that too. Like,
Right?
uh, and when you hear 51 stab wounds
Mm-hmm.
and 35, that sounds like, like
A mess.
everyone multiple people take it. I mean, that's what makes me the Linda Lane with all those wounds. Like, a few
Right.
people were taking a
Feel
stab
like
at him.
almost like it sounds, even though it sounds crazy, everybody's got their crazy theories. But honestly, if you listen to Linda Lane, what I hear happen first is you hear you hear Xana, and you hear Xana, and she's like talking with her friends, and like people are yelling, but immediately you hear somebody start to pick a fight with Ethan, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hit you onto the blacktop. And I mean, he's like, it was like a guy like really coming at Ethan hard. And then Xana tries to get into the middle of it and break the fight up. And then there's this car that comes, this like really loud, obnoxious car that comes by. And I feel like there's the cars terrorizing them as a group in this one area, because it keeps coming and going, and she's yelling at the car. And then people are like, come on, Xana, and she leaves. And then the next bit that I hear where there's any kind of action is, and then I hear a really like horrible sound, like like somebody got hurt badly, and like a man groaning. And then I hear the Kaylee and Madison. I hear Madison running, and then Kaylee saying, Mogan, over here. I swear, every time I listen to that, it makes me tear up.
Well, my theory on the Linda Lane, if it was there, I think it was because of that girl Hannah Cleary, and because she was Maddie's roommate, and like I guess she was bullied, and she killed
Was she
and she
Maddie's?
killed herself.
Right, I
and
know
th- and
that.
then I could see the whole
Mhm.
group setting something up like that, like because they were the mean girls and they wanted to take them out because that poor girl got killed herself or something because
Mhm.
they were mean to her or something. You know what I mean? That's what I used to. That was my theory when I was with the
Yeah, I
Linda
mean,
Lane.
I agree. Wait, hold on. Sorry, I just want to do this. I want to finish that thought though. Latte wrote, I wrote a summary of my decodes on this case in October. I posted on your last live. I think you will find it very interesting. Oh, cool. I'll check that out, Latte. Thank you very much. Um, no, Eric, I mean that theory kind of made it sense. My problem with that theory, and why I never paid it a lot of mind, is because I always reached a dead end with, I never could find any proof that Maddie actually roomed with this girl.
Oh,
And so I don't know, did and to me, like, those are the things, like, for me to even go beyond anything, it's like, first, does she even know this person? And I couldn't find anything other than that guy Justin and a few people on Twitter creating this whole big,
yeah.
thing, right?
Yep, because her dad was a big shot. I heard or something.
Yeah. And I think, honestly, I feel like that was just like one big propaganda garbage piece.
Yeah,
Like,
could have been.
when I go back and look at it, because like that was one of the theories that I was like, okay, that's interesting. Let me see where this goes. But I could never find anything to corroborate any of it. And so, but the thing I found interesting, I wanted to say this before I forget, which is, I don't know if you saw this, but I was looking at some of the documents, and this came up. Let me see, here it is. Okay, so sorry, that's my crazy cat. She just like knocked something down. All right, so I was looking at the doc. Okay, so they're talking about the cars that were there, right? So they
Yep.
say a black 2017 Ford Explorer with Washington license plate, registered to JC. So that's probably like James Chapin, right? The Ford
Okay.
Explorer. I'm thinking it might be Macy's or something like that. Washington.
Oh, yep.
Okay, then they have the red 2011 Jeep Wrangler, and that's also Washington license, registered to JC, also, Chapin, right?
Yep. That's Ethan's then, right?
Right. Yep. Then we have the white 2014 Chevrolet Cruze with Idaho license plate registered to KL, and that's Karen Laramie. That's Maddie's car.
Okay.
Okay. Now here's the weird one. Tell me what this is. A silver 2015 Land Rover, Kaylee's essentially,
Yeah.
but it has a Washington license plate and it's registered to a person with the initials JS.
Jack Showalter.
I mean, this is Kaylee's brand new Land Rover. It's registered in Washington. It has a Washington license plate and it is registered to a person with the initials J, and then there's a middle initial and then S. Who the fuck is this person? And why did you have a Washington license plate? Why does this case always have to be fucking weird?
Yeah, that's weird.
That was one of the first things I read on one of the first documents. I'm like, okay, here we fucking go.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, that is weird.
It's
Were there any
very
other cars there? Was Bethany's car there?
the only cars they have listed are the ones I read. That's it.
Oh, I read this part where they said they gave Dylan all her stuff back, and then they told her she had to bring it back.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's horrible. Right. This poor girl.
And
I mean,
yeah,
Latte says, could that be the old owner? I mean, not if it was legit, because I've bought cars before and they don't let you drive away if you're not the registered owner. Even if you buy from somebody else, you know what I mean? Like, but I mean, it's possible. I thought she bought it from a dealership because if you look at the back license plate, because I've looked at that because that's what we do when we're observant, and it looked like the name of the dealership she bought it from. And
yeah,
then Max has a good questions or has a good one. Who owns the company she worked for? That was Extreme Network. I mean, that's a good point. Maybe the guy who owns that, leased the car or bought the car. I don't know. It's a good point.
she worked in some taco store too.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't think a taco store's buying her. I don't
Yeah,
know
no,
what
no,
was in, but
no, I'm just saying she worked a lot. I think she's like,
oh
what's
yeah,
the
she
a
had a
hustler.
really hard or very strong work ethic, like she seemed like a really great person. All of them did, obviously. So this says BF's car was in an accident 2 months before. That's right. I had heard that. That's interesting. Another thing I had done when I done some background check on the case a long time ago was I found something for Kaylee. Like, how you can go through and you just look like, oh, was this person ever arrested or whatever. So everybody found the Bethany one in Washington where she got pulled over for tailgating someone, which is like the one that they always do when they think you're doing drugs,
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard that, but she had that happen in Washington by WSU. But
Yep.
this is what the weird thing was with Kaylee. Kaylee got a ticket for it from what I deciphered from it, she like bought someone alcohol that was underage or something like that, like some kind of ticket like that. But
Oh,
what it was is like other kids had gotten it too, and it was basically a steep fine, but you just pay and it's done with. But Kaylee didn't do that. Kaylee fought it. She got a lawyer
really?
and they dismissed it. And that was in Moscow. And I was like, I wonder if that pissed some people off.
Yeah, no, that's. I wonder why. So you didn't want something on a record? I mean, like.
I don't know why she did
Yeah.
it. She seemed like the type of person who's principled. So like if she didn't do it, like let's say it was in the
Yeah.
sorority and everybody got it, but she didn't do it. She wasn't even there. I would be that type of person too, where I'd be like, I'm not fucking paying this. Like I wasn't even there. Like I
Oh
didn't do
yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, and some people will bite their nose off to spite their face, even if it takes more energy to fight it, because it's just like, no, that's my name. I didn't do that. So
What if it was like a house party ticket? Like.
I don't know. It's weird. But if you look it up, it's still there. I mean, nothing got changed or whatever. So I just tried to figure out what might have happened there. And and why she fought it. It could have just been principles, just on principles or whatever.
If she's anything like her sister, she's feisty.
Yeah, well, they are. They
Yeah.
are. Absolutely. I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. So, well, their mom's feisty too, man.
Yeah,
Like, they're
yeah, they're
not
all feisty.
playing. That family's not playing. All right.
No, no, they're for real.
And I get it. Some people didn't like some of the stuff they said and this and that, but like, it's their right to say it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I,
the judge didn't have a problem with it.
no. So here is, I wasn't able to, I don't know if you can see this. You watch well, wait, let's just talk about Brian for a couple more minutes because I just want to say this about it. There was something. Oh, I know what it was. This was the other thing I found out recently. Why is every person in this case that we like talk about end up in jail on drug charges? Because you know who just ended up in jail on drug charges for controlled substance possession and correctional facility major contraband introduced. So he tried to take drugs into a correctional facility. Okay, you know who this is? Mason Bangman. Mason Bangman. You know who he is?
No.
He is Xana's first boyfriend. He is Ethan Chapin lookalike.
Oh, is he really?
If you look up pictures, this is what pisses me off about like the mainstream media. I did a thing about Kaylee's lookalike, and I'm not the only one that saw this, but they would put up I forget her name, I'm blanking on it. But they would put up someone else and say it was Kaylee or it was Maddie, because this girl literally looks like she's a meld between the two, like blonde
Yeah.
hair, blue eyes, pretty, whatever. But like that's a person who died, and you're saying that that's somebody. Like, you need to get your shit straight, media.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's very disrespectful to me, and they do that a lot. Okay, they do that with a lot of people, and it pisses me off. But anyway, the same thing with Mason Bangman. They've put up. He's a fraternity brother, or he's a frat guy. Okay. And they put up pictures with, I bet you've seen a picture of, quote, Ethan and Xana. But if you look at it, it's not Ethan, it's Mason Bangman, because he looks a lot like Ethan.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's in the fraternity. Okay. But he's in the fraternity that, let me see, there's a picture. He was in the same fraternity. He's in the Delta Tau Delta. See, I'm sorry, I didn't prepare well with
It's all right. I wrote the name down. I'll check it out.
Yeah, but anyway, check him out. So he was the guy that Xana was dating before Ethan. And then his name came up again recently because somebody was reading it in one of the documents. And then somebody was talking about how Kaylee was dating some fraternity guy with the
I was just
initial
going to bring that up. Yeah.
MB.
Oh, those were the initials? Oh, I was going to ask if you knew the initials.
Well, Lana said it was MB, if I heard her correctly. And
Okay.
so that's why I started thinking about Mason Bangman actually initially, is because when I heard the initials MB, because that's just what this case does when you know all these stupid details.
6 foot, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, so I'm like MB. I'm like, I know who an MB is. That's Mason. That's Mason Bangman. So like I type it in like a freaking weirdo, and it comes up, and I'm like, oh, what do you know? He's been arrested for drug possession and trying to get drugs into a jail. Like, shocking. This guy was at the University of Idaho. If you look at his LinkedIn profile, looks like, kid was doing great. What happened to the kid?
Yeah.
So it's weird, right? Just another
weird. Kaylee and Xana like to do coke.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, in college, I guess it's a thing. I don't play with that shit. Like, cause my mom, I think I told that story before. When I was a kid, my mom took me, and I was probably like 11 or 12. And there was like on the corner, there was ladies that were working, And she's like, you see those ladies over there? I was like, yeah. She goes, if you ever do cocaine, that's what you'll be doing for the rest of your life. That's what she said to me. It scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, well, that's good.
And I never did it. I've been around it. Obviously, people, it's
yeah.
whatever, but that shit always leads to bad. It's just not.
Yeah, definitely. It's not.
She told me if I ever did like like LSD or anything like that, that I would end up in a straitjacket in an insane asylum, and she would never visit me. She would just leave.
I needed a mom like yours because I
Well, I
tried it
never
all.
did LSD. I never did that shit. I was around all of it, my friends and stuff. And I'm like, no, no, you go ahead. I'm good. I'm good.
I did it like twice. I didn't like it. So
Yeah. I mean, I did it once, but it wasn't intentional. It was because this jerk that I was dating put it into a banana. It was a mescaline, actually,
oh
and it was pretty fucked up, is all I'll tell you. It was real
yeah, that
fucked
is.
up. But anyway, it's okay. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. Hi, Joanne. It
Hey
wasn't
Joanne.
the worst thing in the world, but like when you're 15, it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, no.
oh, I thought that was Gumby driving the car, but it's actually not moving. That isn't Gumby because
Yeah, it's not like
cars.
you're gonna give it to yourself. You know what I mean? You should be ready for it.
That's the thing. If you're not, and I'm the type of person I think way too much. So like, I just would be like, I feel like my head would explode if I did that shit. You
Yeah.
know,
No, no, it's yeah. I didn't like it at all. Like,
some people, I think it's something that can help a lot of people. I think it's good that they microdose for depression. I think people just need to respect it, and that's the problem is people don't respect these things. Like there used to be ceremony around those things.
I mean, like you should go to a function, like a concert or something. I heard that's it's better to do it like that. We have a mission, like a concert, 5 or 6 hours of doing something where.
Well, even right, it can be that, or Joanne said hello, posties guest. It's Eric. It's Eric Pascal. Is that how you
Hey,
say it?
how are you?
He's one of us. I never liked this chunks either. Yeah. I mean, it's like the thing about it, Eric, like I feel like, if you find out like where that PCP and stuff came from, is the CIA was looking for drugs to help control
Oh,
people's minds and shit.
I got a whole book on that. What
Yeah.
drugs and
Yeah.
what's it called? It's called
Chaos.
Drugs, Weapons Against U.S.
Okay, there you go. And yeah, and so they found that in like the deep recesses of like some beautiful country that we've probably done shitty things to, like at the Amazon. I don't remember where, but they found it and they brought it here and they used it and they still use it. And then they dosed people that didn't even know they were being dosed, like college students and shit.
Yeah.
And that one guy jumped out the window, that poor guy, that story, right?
No, what is it? What?
Uh, he's a guy who the CIA was using this shit. They were using the LSD and stuff, and he lost his mind. It was called Wormwood. There's a doc,
Oh, I heard of that. Oh, that I know. Oh, that's okay.
and the guy literally like couldn't like get his shit together and jumped right out of this window. His family to this day, I saw an interview with them a few years back, but they still, the CIA has never acknowledged like what they did.
Yeah.
Government doesn't give a shit about us.
No, they don't. I think the government put crack into the world, and I think they put fentanyl in
100%.
fentanyl too.
They pit culture and race against one another, and then they enslave all of us in different ways. It's just different ways.
Yeah.
It's just different ways. It's really pretty. That's why I love these two behind me, because these two right here are really pirates, man. And I can't believe that even though he said if I'm found dead, it was what I was whacked, and even tattooed it on his arm, and they still freaking suicided him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He got suicided in a prison in I think I forget what country. It was in Central America or something. But that's his wife, and I just love these two.
I was just reading that Epstein was CIA.
Oh no, Epstein is not CIA. I don't believe. I think Epstein is Mossad. I think Epstein is 100% Israeli Mossad.
I seen that. I seen that the other day too. What did I see? I seen that he was the other day. I read that too. So I mean,
Well, the thing about it is, like, unfortunately, I've gone down too many because I don't sleep well. I've gone down like every rabbit hole, Eric, and nook and cranny. And it's like, so with the Epstein thing when it came out, like, I went pretty hard and deep a few years ago, and I've got like a lot of shit, but um, I did the whole Robert Maxwell deep dive because I realized that Robert Maxwell is where I had to start. And then, you know, um, Robert Maxwell, that's not even his name, and he's a double agent. And he likes to tell you he's a Russian double agent, but he's actually, at the end of the day, guess what? Israeli. He's Mossad.
Oh,
It's all Mossad. It's all Mossad, and like people don't want to hear it, and then they call you all these names because you know it has not, no, it has nothing to do with that. It's just any country that does this is bad. But essentially, yeah. So Robert Maxwell was Mossad double agent, and he did all kinds of fucked up things in this country too. But his daughter, Ghislaine, who he named his boat after,
yeah,
was
yeah,
his
yeah.
daughter, and who knows what kind of weird ass relationship they had.
He owned a newspaper too, right?
Yeah, that was his cover. His cover was that he was like this media magnet, but like the reality is like he just was one of those people like Epstein who's just like constantly has money but nobody knows where he gets it from. Like Epstein's cover was actually a real cover. Like he wanted to impregnate the world. You know about that sick fantasy, right? Like
Yeah,
he's a
yeah,
real
yeah, yeah.
weirdo.
I know. These
It's
guys with money allowed to do whatever they want.
well, I think they're just they're so depraved because they can buy whatever they want. They have the power, and so they get bored. I guess. Why don't they
Yeah,
try?
nothing else makes you feel good. You got everything, so you got to do something
But what I don't understand is
twisted.
like those. That's when you need to go to like the mountaintop in Tibet, or you need to go like suffer somewhere so you can figure out what's going on in the
Well,
world.
kill
Like,
yourself.
yeah, exactly. Like, but instead, they just become these demonic forces on earth that harm people. Because really, that's all you have to do in this world is not harm other people, and pretty much shit will be okay for you. But when you start harming other people, you're inviting natural law to crush you with karma. So just don't fucking harm people on purpose, especially, you know? So
Yeah, but
sorry. I get it's just so
no,
annoying.
no, I get it. I get it.
But anyway, so Epstein, I figured out quite a while ago that he was in my opinion, he was a spy, a Mossad spy. And I remember saying it 7 years ago in a pool on July 4th, and everybody laughing at me. I said, Epstein, he's a Mossad, he's a spy. And they all were laughing at me. And I didn't care because I'm mean. I don't give a shit. I'm like, shut up. But you'll see. And guess what? They are gonna say because I was fucking right. And so and not just me. You knew it too. You knew it was
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think they got Trump. The Messiah got Trump to do that, drop those bombs.
Well, what do you mean? Drop what bombs?
What the ones he did in Iran for Netanyahu for like.
Oh my God. Trump is the worst for Zionist loving. Trump is the biggest Zionist lover ever. I don't know that people realize it. But this is politics and religion. I don't mind talking about it, but just trigger warning for people. I don't have like hard and fast rules. Like my guiding principle is just like don't harm other people. It's if you're not harming other people, then okay, cool.
Yeah.
But most of these people are harming other people. Like most of the, especially Israel. In my opinion, Israel is just it's doing to Palestinians what they say the Germans did to them in World War II. There's no excuse for what they're doing to the people in Palestine right now. And it's so censored here, and the minute you say anything like this, people get very angry. And it's the only time that I've had like some really nasty things said to me when I say things like I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
And it still doesn't bother me because I'm still going to say it.
I hear you.
I'm still going to.
There's a good doc on Netflix about Amy Bradley. She like disappeared from a cruise ship. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that I saw that. It was really good. I don't know though. Like I saw like how they're these people are like I saw her here, and
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like that's not true. Like I feel like that was all like people wanting to see her or wanting to help. I could be totally wrong, but that was my take on it. I don't think she's alive.
I don't think any of the pictures matched. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it was like wishful thinking type thing, and then it's like, oh, I think I saw somebody that looked like her, and then it just sucks like for her parents because, there's no, I think that one guy knew. Remember that one guy they questioned? The daughter was pressing her father. He's like, tell us the truth, Dad.
I think some people just want to take off sometimes. Like,
And that's a possibility too. That's definitely a possibility. And I agree. Actually, it's funny you say that because I have this book right here. I have so many books. Uh, I I can't pull it out, but I found it earlier when I was going through I was like reorganizing. It's called How to Disappear.
Oh yeah.
And basically it tells you how to like disconnect, like
Oh
how to
yeah.
get out of the databases, how to go off the grid, like how to erase yourself essentially.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not even easy to remain private at all anymore. You have to pay. Like I pay this hold on, I'm sorry. Mark B just Hi Mark B. He said, "Do you think they'll ever release the Epstein lists?" I mean, I don't know, Mark. I What do you think? Like I
A,
feel like
a judge just knocked it down. They said no.
yeah, and I feel like no because when people but here's the thing, like
And,
at some point, like push does come to shove,
yeah.
like this country was founded on revolution. Like people are gonna like have enough at some point. Like they need this thing right here is one of the biggest things that like holds us back because all these people are being blackmailed by the crappy things they did in the dark. And that's it.
They're gonna
So
blackmail Ghislaine to get it.
yeah, and it's like they're not gonna. You know what? I don't even believe, in my opinion, I don't think Elaine is even in prison. I think Elaine is with Jeffrey Epstein on some kibbutz in Israel right now. That's my opinion. He's never going to spend a day in prison. Just like I don't think Jeffrey Epstein was killed. I think it was made to look like he killed himself and made to look shady. So everybody's trying to figure out who killed him.
Yeah.
And in reality, he's not even fucking dead. Okay. He changed his face, and him and Ghislaine are already, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that like realistically, if you look just like the history of the country and what people do and what these spies are capable of doing and stuff. So I know I don't think they'll ever release the list because all the people on the list are all the people that
Run
I
the
mean,
country.
who looks up to these people anymore, though? Let's
Yeah.
be honest. Anybody? Does
No.
anybody really?
Yeah. Nobody was surprised you on that list.
Yeah, they said Trump is on there, but it wasn't for like there are going to be people that
Yeah.
hung out with Jeffrey Epstein. And
But
I'm
Trump
not,
was on it, but he left the party early, right? Like everybody
yeah,
did
that
at
kind of
Diddy's
shit.
party.
He didn't inhale.
I
He
didn't
didn't
stay there
inhale.
after 10.
Yeah, I swore she was 18, and I
Yeah.
didn't inhale that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're all depraved human beings, in my opinion. Every single one of them. Um, and yeah, they're just all depraved human beings. And the problem is like the way it's set up now, and it's still the best. Like it's to me, it's still the best system in the world. Like I'm still very grateful to be sitting in America bitching about our system right now. Because to be clear, like most other countries are even worse when it comes to freedom and justice and
Yeah, well,
opportunities.
if you got money, you can get out of anything.
True.
And if you
True.
don't have money, you're fucked.
Mhm. If you have money or if you have power or
Power.
nepotism,
Mm.
But yeah, I'm still happy to be here. It's just like the problem is the system, it's been going pretty good, but we haven't kept it tight. Like we haven't kept our shit tight. Like we're supposed to be the guardians of our system, the citizens. And like Rockefeller comes in and makes all these crappy history books and teaches us all this shit that's not true and makes us, obey and have to raise our hand to go to the bathroom, which is ridiculous. That's what slaves do. And so they teach us all this crap, and then we become soft. We used to be able to like conquer the wild, the wild
Yeah.
wild west and shit. And now we're just like, oh, I need my Starbucks and my phone's gonna
Yeah.
die. That's weak as fuck. I
And
hate it.
I think they know they're going to get away with it, so they push it further too. They do
Of course
worse.
they do, because it's human nature to be lazy, to conserve energy. And like it's nice to have nice things, right? But like at the end of the day, every time we're doing this, and it's like I struggle with this all the time because even when I try to think about like how do I make a change, and I've realized it's just the little things and it's just me, the little things that make the difference. But like it's such a ginormous undertaking because it's gotten so far out of hand at this point. right? I mean,
Definitely.
it's so far out of hand than what it was supposed to be, you know?
Look at that police system in Boston.
That's a prime example. And you just know that's happening everywhere. It just
Yep.
got highlighted there.
And the corrupt goes to the court.
Yeah. Yep. It's crazy. Um
Even like the judge in Kentucky, like what they were doing. That's
yeah,
terrible.
that was insane. And that guy shot him because he knew that was the only way he was going to get justice because the guy's a
Yep.
judge.
Yeah.
Like, what are you
They're
going to do?
taking advantage of criminals.
Yeah, like judges are literally more powerful than the president, I feel like, you know? They are. They've overruled some of his things. They can put you in jail. They can ignore the law and they call it discretion. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, come on.
That judge in the Epstein case, she said, I can't release it and it's out of my hands.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow,
you're
thanks.
the judge. How is it out of your hands?
Exactly. That sounds a little scary, Judge, if I'm being honest. Do you have a gun behind your back right now? Like Russia? I mean, come on, this is crazy. I mean, it's crazy. Although I heard Russia isn't that horrible. I don't know. But seriously, it's yeah, it's crazy.
Definitely is.
But anyway, so back to Macron. So Emmanuel Macron. So his wife Brigitte. The reason why I believe that she's a man outside of the fact that Candace Owens, reviewed that book that guy wrote.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if it was a guy, a man, or a woman, but anyway,
No, it's good. What's his name?
yeah, it was a guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's,
And he had to leave the country. He's in Russia in exile right now with what's his name? Edward Snowden.
Snowden.
He's over
Snowden.
there. Maybe I'll write some big expose and go over there and hang out with them too. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he writes this big thing and he gives all the proofs, and you saw it, right?
Yeah, and its lover was like 14 years old.
It's disgusting, honestly. That's what makes it so perverse. The fact that someone wants to be a man or a woman, totally like, do you, boo boo, like whatever, right? But the fact that it's a person who is molesting a child, that's the part I
Yeah.
had a hard time with. I don't care ultimately that
And it's the queen or the king of the
yeah,
country.
yeah, it's really fucked up. And the thing too is like, Macron, the husband, must be under, like, everybody's going nuts on Candace saying, "Oh, she's lost her mind. She's Alex Jones, this and that," but she's not. Like, that's why I really like her, because she's not going to back down, and her values are her values. And she's right; it's perverse, and you can't argue the age. 15, and how old was the? And that person was transitioning at that time, I
Yeah,
guess.
Candace kept saying no, 14. Everyone says 15, it's
Yeah,
14.
14. But regardless, 14 and the one
39. 39.
yeah. Anybody who has kids,
Yeah.
just think about that for a
And
second.
it's like a
I don't care
political
if it's a
it's
boy
and
or
it's the
girl.
they run the country too. So it's like people think that's the norm.
It's really, yeah, Paris isn't that where the other that guy fled after
Yep. Yeah.
yeah, they love that shit over there, right?
Yep. Yeah, and then,
I don't agree with it because of the intense adoration that children have for adults. It's just not fair to bring a sexual relationship into that. And people who do that they're just very depraved, like I just can't. It makes me feel sick.
and you get them at a young age where they can't even think right. They think
Yeah,
it's
so
wrong.
like,
Like
but I think
it's brainwashing.
With Macron though, it brings up well, first of all, the other thing is it's the structure. It's the facial structure. It has to do with the shoulders. So if you look at the shoulders, men typically, almost always, the male skeleton, the male head is bigger. So you could I could take one of your head and put it on each of your shoulders, right? Because you're a
Yep.
man. I'm a woman. If you could do that for me, then you would be like, yeah, you have the bone structure of a man. You can only put a half and a half because of the way. That's just why. And it's something that, like, when I say it, you're like, oh, that's weird. But now you're going to start looking and you're
I'm
going to
gonna start
see it.
looking.
It's very subtle, but it's something it's like, as a species or whatever you want to believe we are. Like, I believe we're more than just like, a species. Like, I believe we're, spiritual beings, but like you see people and you make that assessment so quickly, right? So like that's one of the things. And so one of the things that people who are trans do that are trying to hide it, right? Who don't want you to know is they're very careful with their hairstyles, with what they wear. There's a whole thing where you can dive into this and look at like their specific ways they'll pose and stuff. And so when you get into this deep diving, you're going to start looking at a lot of people, like celebrities, very differently. And I'm not going to say
Wow.
anybody's names. I'm just saying when you start to really look at some of the indicators for this stuff, you're going to start to see more people.
Oh wow.
And some of them might surprise you.
Yeah, yeah. That's interesting. I'm gonna start looking now.
Yeah, and there's like and like I would never, the reason why I'm not going to name any is because like I don't know for sure, and like I don't want to like say that about another person, like that's very personal. But and I'm not saying it's a definite, I'm just saying that there are certain things you cannot change, and one of them is the structure of a female's hips, you know what I mean, because of the womb and everything, and the way that men walk, and the way women walk, there's a certain way that they
I,
walk. And
I believe you're born with that. It's in you
you
when
mean
you're
if you
like,
want to be trans or something?
yeah, trans, gay, whatever. I think it's in you. Like it just.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
don't
think,
think you learn it, or I think it's just in you.
yeah, it's one of those things. Like, I feel like some people, first of all, I know like people always argued like you don't choose to be or whatever, and I don't think anybody chooses to be, but I do think with the trans that it's become more prevalent and it's been more like the cool thing to do or the
Yeah,
problem thing. And so in that regard, I don't think they're children, so in my opinion they can't make a choice. So that's different, right? But with like other stuff, like they may feel like I had a friend who said her son came to her when he was like 7 or 8 and said that he was homosexual. And she was shocked. She's
wow.
like, "You're 8, like, what do you?" And the kid was, like, super bright. He was, I think he ended up graduating high school when he was in, like, 8th grade or something, or 7th grade. Like, he was super bright. But when he was, like, 8, like, he was telling his mom, who was Catholic, that he was gay. And, like, he wasn't trying to have a relationship with anybody. He was a kid. But, like, he already knew, and he was explaining it to her. It was bizarre. Like, I remember her telling me that. I was like, "That's incredible." And thankfully, she was very understanding, you
Yeah,
know?
my friend, his son is gay, and
What's that?
my friend, his son is gay, and he's just like, and as I asked him, I was like, how did that work? Like, he's like, I don't know, it just happened. It's that's it. He's like,
Yeah,
well,
for me, like, I don't think it would make a like,
no, no,
like,
no, just like, I was like, I didn't really know anyone where, like, it surprised me, like, it surprised me too. Like,
right, yeah, yeah. I think people, yeah, I don't, like, it's one of those things where I think when they have like the Jesus, like, when they try to convert these people, when they're like, "Oh, you come to Jesus and you won't like to bend over anymore, or you won't want
yeah,
to be a man or whatever." But like the thing that makes me so angry about that is this, right? So I understand like they're Christians, they're trying to help people, but as strongly as I feel heterosexual, if I woke up tomorrow and like I was in a world where they're like, yeah, like heterosexual is like, you guys are perverted. Like,
yeah,
that's not how we hang here. Like, you guys are like, that's perverse. God doesn't like heterosexual breeders. Like, you guys are bad. And you have to be homosexual and you have to, like, I could not do that, right? I can't choose to do that, right?
yeah.
Why do you think somebody who's homosexual chooses that? Like, it just happens, right? So then when people get angry about it, it's like, why are you judging these people?
And I think that's the government's problem. They're trying to get people, like, say it's acceptable to do at a young age, like at the norm.
That's my problem. I have a problem with
Yeah, like,
well, kids that are gay when they're younger. That's kids that are gay, just like
yeah.
heterosexual kids. It's the trans part. Even that, I don't care about that. It's not that I don't. It's not that I. What I care about is harming kids.
And it's mutilation. Yeah, exactly. That's the
To
problem.
me, that's harming kids. once 18, like whatever. I feel like when you're under 18, honestly, I feel like a lot of it is just the parents, and they tend to be very narcissistic type people who are very about themselves and how good they are, and they probably have a BLM and a Ukraine flag and whatever the latest thing is.
There's no more hippies.
Yeah, so like it's whatever the latest is they're gonna have, type thing. And yeah, that's what I feel like, and it's really a shame. Because you've seen those stories. There's a woman on YouTube who is a trans. She wasn't. She's gorgeous. You would never know. And she has a show, and she interviews some of these kids who have tried to, um, you know,
Yeah.
like regain, like go back, or and talks about all the awful things that have happened to them, which I know, just from a medical perspective, when you add things or take them away, you're gonna have problems with your urethra, like urinating. This one girl, she had such a problem with urinating. She was only like 21. It was so heartbreaking, listening to all the infection she has, and it was a man to female, and it was horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah, that's the thing I would think would scare people, like all this stuff you got to do it. The pills
But
you got to
that's the
take.
thing, though. When you think about, I when you think about the kids, though, in their brain, they're looking at like a TikTok person or whoever, these people are brainwashing kids that this is what they should do. And like they're not thinking about it. And those parents aren't gonna, a lot of times, I don't know. I
Or they're
honestly,
saying I feel like a girl and I look like a boy.
I could look, and that's cool. Like whatever, we've always had people. People have always been this way, and and I've always felt like that was the big to me. That would be the biggest tragedy of a life, is to feel like you were born in the wrong sex. To me, I have such empathy for those people, because just imagine right now that you like I've sat with that. Like I've thought about it myself. I'm like, what if I really felt like I was a man? And it makes me like want to jump out of my skin. I'm like, this
Yeah,
is so bizarre, right? So people really feel this way.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so it's hard for people. That's got to be hard, right?
But that's the thing is, if you teach that in school, someone might not have felt that way, but someone
I
brings it up
agree. They
and they
shouldn't be
start
teaching it.
drilling it in your head. That's what I'm saying. That's the problem.
They shouldn't be teaching it at
No,
school.
that's
They
what I
shouldn't be
yeah.
teaching any of that shit in school.
No.
In fact, I go the other direction though, Eric. I don't even think they should have schools. Honestly, the way that schools are, you don't even need schools anymore. Kids can find out all the stuff they can learn themselves. But the way they teach, it's more of like I remember in college, the professor called it warehousing the young. Warehousing the young. That's what he called it.
Mm.
And warehousing the young was daycare, childcare. Once feminism destroyed stay-at-home mothers,
Yeah.
and the government got their taxes from all of us now. Um,
I mean, I got 4-year-olds that know how to use an iPad for me, niece and nephews. Like
yeah, yeah. But like with all this information, right? Like we're getting more and more and more information. It's like there's no more meaning. Like the search for meaning hasn't been, like the meaning is lost,
yeah.
you
And
know.
adults use Chat GPT. Like that's.
I try not to. I'm going to be
No, I'm
honest.
saying, but a lot of people just do it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not into that AI, any of that. I don't like any of that. But
I mean, I will do things with ChatGPT, like when I want to debate it or whatever, or like
no, I
stuff.
just mean the big picture. Like, I feel like it's good. They're talking about creating new jobs. That's going to take jobs away. Like, that's
Oh, it's
like
already doing it, Eric.
no,
It's
but they like talk about, oh, we're going to create more jobs. No, well, then why are you doing this AI stuff? You don't need to do that if you want to make
no,
jobs.
it's already, like I feel like it's already, you know,
Oh yeah, it's already out there.
happening. It's people don't know it yet, but it's, and I'm not a doomsayer. Like I'm actually an optimist, but like that shit's on its, like it's beyond, it's going so fast, and they're laying off people, and
Yeah,
it's it's like the industrial revolution, but we're like with computers or AI. I don't know what the name of it is, but we're in one of those periods of time right now, you know.
yeah, definitely. Like,
I think that's why we feel so uneasy all the time, because we're not like in the middle of an era. We're at the end of a fucking era. So it's
Yeah,
kind of like anxiety provoking.
exactly. We could go to the moon whenever we want now.
Yeah, right. Do you think we went? No, for real. Do you think we went to the moon?
Yeah, I do. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do. I think that someone went there. Yeah, I mean,
that's fair.
what
I
they
mean,
did there, I think they might have went there, landed, and left. But I mean, I don't know if if they walked around and hung out there. But
so did you? If, I know you. We talked about Candace, but she does a thing on the moon landing.
oh, does she? I'll check it out.
But if you don't want your heart broken because you
No, I know.
like the
Oh,
idea that they
I
landed
could care
on the
less if
moon,
like.
then don't watch it because you won't believe it after you listen to her. I didn't believe it to like
Well, I know I didn't listen to anything that told me they didn't go. So you know what I mean. I
yeah.
take people's word for. I don't think everyone's a liar at first until they prove
No,
it.
no, and I appreciate that. No, exactly. And I don't either. And like honestly, like a lot of this quote conspiracy stuff, it's not even conspiracy stuff. It's just people who have healthy skepticism, like looking into things and being like, that doesn't seem right. And then you have a question, you find out other people have it, and then you find out like, oh, they've hidden the answer for 50 years. Well, that doesn't make me trust you then. So like that's why.
Yeah, no, I get. No, I'll definitely watch it. But
Yeah, it's it is what it is. Like people have different opinions on it. I think it's interesting. I think it's really interesting.
yeah, no, it definitely is. Like,
The biggest question for me and the biggest thing really if you just think about it um is they always talk about we can't go back there because of the Van Allen belt and this radiation that would just be incredible and that would just kill the astronauts or whatever. And so then you say, okay, well then how the fuck did they do that the last
oh,
time?
see, I didn't know any. See, I didn't
Yeah,
know
that's
that.
just this is just like one point of skepticism that I'm pulling out. And this is like a common one that I'm not even pointing one out that like if you've never looked into it, you'll look into it and you'll be like, oh, I see why people are skeptical of it. That's the thing. Like people can be like, oh, you're just dumb, like you believe all this shit. No, you know what? If you have no questions about the moon landing, if you believe that like all that shit happened, and when they say we can't go back there now because we don't have the technology, if you believe that makes sense, then that's cool. But if you have questions, you should go look because
Yeah,
you're gonna be surprised.
like 9/11, I got a million questions on.
Oh my god, I that was my first that was my opening into this. I mean,
Yeah,
everybody was always into JFK, but like once I once the 9/11 thing happened, I was like, I'm done. And then that was it. Everything was like, I don't think everything is a psyop and I don't think everything is not real or whatever, but I just recognize that the government does a lot of these operations on
well,
purpose.
yeah. If you can't
Direct.
take everything. You gotta look. That's what I say. Not everything is, but there's a few, you might find something.
I mean, I think there's like, and like a lot of the stuff too, like it is just because people are lazy. It's not because they're bad or whatever. They're just lazy, you know?
Yeah,
Um, and so they like Blaker, like if you're reading some of these people, like Lana was reading like some of their reports and stuff, and she was going off on it. And I understood why, because I was thinking the same thing. Like I'm like, okay, I would have asked this. Why didn't you ask that? Maybe they did, but like I really feel like some people are just they're just lazy. They just
some
don't.
people are dumb too.
You're right. And some people are just dumb, right? Exactly.
Yeah,
This is like some people are fucking dumb. They lack inner like
yeah,
curiosity to like
yeah.
wonder. Like
Just because you're a cop don't mean you're smart. You
that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that's what I say. Like, I mean, I think my fucking 80% of society's dumb.
Well, if you look at the bell curve, right? The bell curve is 100 is the average IQ. And so then if the standard deviation, the one standard deviation away, which is like, I don't know, that would make it like 40% of the population is under 100
Yeah,
IQ.
yeah. And I don't know if it's dumb. It's not like street smart or like you don't like
I know what you mean.
question stuff. You just take it like, is it like the
I know what you mean. No, because
yeah,
I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, people are so dumb. Like everybody's so dumb. I hate people. Like, no, I love people and I think people are smart. But I think that some people are it's different things. I think for some people they're just so overwhelmed with just trying to survive, you know,
yeah,
struggling that like they don't have the energy to put into anything. I really think for a lot of people, that's what it is. And if you realize that, like, you'll have more, it makes me have more compassion for people that are like even being mean to me, like flipping me the bird when they're like riding my ass when I'm already going like 90. So fuck off. But it's like I just like, okay, they must be dealing with a whole lot of shit right now. That's all I
Yeah.
can think of, whatever.
I like waited tables most of my life, so you just meet some fucking people. That's
Yeah,
just
I've waited tables. I used to wait tables, and so I know. And also just like from working in the emergency department, like I mean, just the patients and the just the circumstances and like that's why I think like I always had tough skin, but let me tell you, working in the ER, like you have to have tough. Like people will call you names, they will spit at you. It's
oh
just like insane. And then just the dynamic of all the other medical people in the ER and it's just crazy
yeah.
town. You know?
No, that must be him. My brother works for Sloan. He deals with all cancer patients like that.
Yeah, he could tell you the dynamics in a hospital. You can't have thin skin in an emergency department. You'll just have a breakdown and go
Yeah,
home.
yeah.
You will
That's how I. And the
break down.
same thing at the restaurant too. Like people talk. Yeah, where's my food? They talk shit to you. Like whatever.
Yeah, you cannot let that bother you. And I actually am grateful for having never really been one of those people that like let it bother me. The only time it bothers me is if I feel like I hurt someone or there's a misunderstanding, then I want to help,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
But outside of that, it's like,
yeah. Sometimes if I fuck something up, it'll bother me. But someone's just miserable. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and I end up feeling more sorry for them, honestly, because I start thinking about it and I'm like, why are they like so angry about like I don't know. Like, it's like when you're sitting at the light and they can't even give you a millisecond before they beep their horn. And it's like, holy shit, I'm sorry I blinked.
yeah.
I'm sorry I blinked. Damn it. You must be going somewhere fast. And so like I go, whatever. And then I think, well, maybe they're rushing off to like somebody's dying in the hospital. You
You
know
know
what I
what?
mean? Like, that's what I try to do because I don't want to think people are really this fucking
I used to say that, but then when I go down to like Florida or upstate New York, I'm like that. I need things to move fast. Like I get
really.
impatient.
Oh,
I
I
get no, like I gotta say, I'm like, oh damn, I can see I'm impatient. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, so that see, I don't do that. I'm in the car. I never beat my horn. The only time I beat my horn is if someone's about to hit me, and that's what I feel like it's for. Otherwise, I'm not beeping my horn ever. And like, I don't even get upset. I'm not saying I was always like this, but now I am. I've been like this for a good while. I used to be crazy on the road, but
I'm more like that in like in a restaurant or a store. Like what's taking so long? Come on, ring it up. Come on, let's go. Like
I don't like to eat out anymore. Ever since COVID, I don't like to eat out anymore. I can't
no,
do it. I can't do it.
yeah,
How
yeah.
about in COVID when they had the
Blockers.
I like how it was like, oh, we're gonna eat outside, right? Because it's the fresh air. And then they enclose it, right? Outside. Do you
Yeah,
remember that
yeah,
shit?
yeah, yeah. I do. Well, that's when I left there. I got like
I'm like,
I
what the
left
fuck are
like
you
COVID. I was getting
doing?
paid for not working, and then now I'm like I'll do it on the weekends every once in a while. But now I'm like a janitor in a
Uh-huh.
school. Yeah, so
Yeah.
but I left when COVID hit. Like I was like I can get paid and not work. I'm like all
Right,
right,
right. You're
fuck
like,
this.
oh yeah, I'll do that. Sure.
My dream come true.
I think that's what everybody did. A lot of people stayed at home. A lot of people went on vacation and
I was
shit.
getting $1,100 a week for doing
Oh,
nothing
shit. Why not? There
for
you go.
wearing a mask.
Right, for wearing a mask. Well, I feel like it was a snow day for the world,
It
COVID was a
was.
big snow day for the world. I mean, there was a lot of bad stuff too, but
I don't know how they can do that. Like, if you guys can do this now, let's just do this for life.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the kind of the whole thing. Like when I start thinking about natural law and how we're supposed to live and like how things ended up this way, it's like it's exactly your point. Why can't they just keep sending us checks every day? Like why can't they? What's stopping them? Because they can just print more money, right?
Yeah, but even that's a conspiracy, right? Like, like who caused that? Somebody did. The
Well, cause what do you mean? Like
whole
COVID?
COVID shut down the
Oh
government, shut
yeah.
down everything. Like,
Yeah, that was a whole other I think that was planned for a long time. That was
yeah,
it was just That would be like a whole few hour thing. I have a lot to say on that just because
But
of the medical perspective. But
yeah. That was the yeah. No, that's. But I
but
mean,
Macron, look at the way Macron walks, look at her hair, look at her shoulders. Um and yeah, I mean, I everybody's already jumping on Candace saying that she's crazy and this and that, but she's not. And I don't know how the Macrons are going to prove defamation, because to prove defamation, they have to prove that she's a female.
well, Candace knows her shit. You know what I mean?
She
She's
does.
like she's got her arms open for this. She's like, bring that shit.
She's
Like,
like, please, bitch, please sue me, bitch. Like,
yeah,
I've
so
been waiting for this my whole life.
she's like, I did 8 episodes on this.
Yeah, she's like, I've been waiting. I've been
Yeah,
waiting patiently. No, she loves this shit. Candace, when they screwed her over on what was the Shapiro, when Ben Shapiro screwed her over and the whole world started calling her an anti-Semite,
yeah,
Candace Owens, they woke up a warrior in Candace Owens. Like, she was always great and shit, but like when they did that to her, she was like, "Oh, you right? You want to play? Let's play." Like, they should have never fucked with
yeah,
Candace Owens. They should have never done it, because she's never going to stop exposing shit. She's just not. And
yeah. No,
right?
that's her mission. Yeah, no, and she's good at she only exposes what needs to be exposed.
Yeah, she's not going overboard. Like,
Yeah,
she knows a lot more that she could expose, but she also knows she doesn't want to look like an Alex Jones. And people got to take this slow and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm so grateful for her doing this Macron thing, because I've tried to tell people other like things that I've seen or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, you're crazy." I'm like, "Well, look at Candace Owens then, okay? Because she's not crazy."
in France they just take it. Like,
Yeah, I think that there's this whole thing called elite gender inversion, where like the man and the woman swap. It's really crazy. That's something else to kind of look into. But
oh really?
yeah, anyway, I'm getting a little tired.
All right.
But thanks for coming on with
Thanks
me.
for having me.
Yeah, and I'll definitely go through some more stuff and do some more updates on
I'll do
this.
the same thing.
All
Thanks
right,
for
cool.
everybody in the chat.
All right, yeah, thanks guys for being here.
Thank you.
All
Have a good
right.
night.
All right, take care.
Bye bye.